So now we officially have a lot more different photos of original concept art for Bendy in the Dark Revival. 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago, I did a whole different video mentioning and showing a whole bunch of different original concept art, like, with Bendy and all that stuff. We also looked at the whole entire archives, but now we have even more original concept art of some things actually making it to the final game, and some things that never got to see the day of light until now. Thanks to Art by Gavin, this whole page showing all the different art that Gavin did for different studios. We have some for the original Bendy and Ink Machine, but lots of people already talked about that, so that's not what today's video is about. It's about the brand new Bendy and Ink Machine slide. And who knows, this could be really old. It could have came out the second Bendy came out, the new chapter, but we actually have no entire idea. We just found it out recently this week, or I think it was like last week. But without further ado, let's go look at the very first one. As you guys can see here, it's original art for the Butcher Gang, and this might actually be like the last finalized art, but this is showing the new redesign, the new extremely high quality look of the whole entire Butcher Gang member. Who knows if this is just, concept art or could have been promotional material, but at the end of the day, it looks extremely amazing, and he did a great job on this. The next photo here shows a Bendy one that I don't think actually happened. This Bendy has almost an ink dripping out of his whole body, and also his whole face is actually cracked. As you guys can see, he has almost a cracks, and he doesn't have that big drop dripping out of his head, showing that this is actually some early concepts for, baby Bendy or ink Bendy, whatever you want to call this Bendy here, I guess Bendy boy. But he still has a bow tie in the original outfit, showing this is obviously a little bit farther into development, but not the final Bendy we saw in game. And this must be the very first concept they did actually pitch for what's going on, Butcher Gang member. I think this is Striker, if I am right. In the top, you can see how the original Striker looks in Bendy and the Ink Machine, and this looks like what he thought would be like a cool redo model of what they thought. You can see he has some different bones, like bird bones. It looks like little fangs sticking out of his toes. He has fangs coming out of his teeth like a spider. It just looks very cool, but it looks like at the end of the day, they did not keep the fangs and the toes, or like fangs coming out of his teeth and toes. It looks like those two were sadly, removed, and this was in a very first early reveal. But I do think a little bit cool, but I guess it doesn't fit the original design that we saw in Bendy and the Ink Machine. This is also the Liar design, or I think his name is Fisher, if my memory serves me correct. And I think this one is the one they actually keep in the game. As you can see, they do have the reference for the original Bendy and Ink Machine model up there, and I think this is the one that did actually go to the finalized. It looks extremely nice, extremely cleaned up, and a lot more scary and creepier that we actually see this model than the one we saw in Bendy and the Ink Machine. And this is the last one, being Piper. As you can see, I do think this is not the the finalized model. As you guys can see here, his leg is actually a little bit different. It is not a pipe. It's not like a syringe, or like the suction cups, a plunger. Yeah, he doesn't have a plunger on his leg. He has like a pipe with like little faucet and another pipe that maybe most likely a gent pipe, all taped up and strapped to his leg, which is not in the final version. He has another pipe on his leg, so that was just the early design for him. Another one is one of the searchers, or I think searchers. It's just a Homestead ink blob, nothing else. This is how it actually looks like, I think, in the official game. And this is one for the little inky spiders. I do think it looks a little bit different, since the mouths look a little bit different. It looks a lot more droopier and a lot more inkier, but I think it definitely is really close to what I actually saw in the final version, and it's like almost a 1-to-1 scale, just a little bit different because it's a 2D art versus a 3D model. Then we saw art for Potter. He definitely looks like he's not as decked out. He doesn't have that much things on him as he does in game. He does not have his powers in his hand all blown up yet, but it definitely looks like Potter. Also, it's a lot more inkier too, but it's just the early concepts for Potter. The next one we got here now, I think, is just another lost one girl. I guess wanders around the studio. I think it could be her, or it could be early design of the Heidi, that girl from Bendy in the whole chapter, around chapter 5, I think is when she popped up. It could be her, or it could just be a random lost one, or a girl lost one is wandering around the studio. Who actually knows? You can let me know in the comments below if this one actually made it into the game. I sadly do not remember. And this is the next one, which I do not think, if my memory serves me correct, I do not think it made it in the game. It looks like a switch or a button that all you have to do is click and press in, and it lights up when the door is opened up, or it could just be like a mini little light switch. I really have no idea. I don't remember seeing this in the game at all, but if you do remember, please let me know in the comments below. But it does look like a pretty cool switch. It could be a literal definition of a light switch. You click it on and it switches on light, or it could just be a button to open up a door, and the light indicates when the door is open, and it's all cracked up and all withered up, making it look really cool. The next one we got here is one that actually made it in the game, a new detailed switch, so when you push it down and the lights up. We've seen it in game, and this was probably an early attempt at remaking this one, but you know, at the end of the day, it still looks pretty cool. I really do like it, and this is one that actually made it in the game. The next one we got here now is the whole one to open up locked doors. You need a fully charged gem pipe. You plug it in there, flick out the switch after opening it up, and it'll open up any locked door. This is in the game and also is within the original first gameplay trailer, so you could definitely see they went with this concept design on. And this is the next one, which I do think some of it made in. I don't think we saw the coffee machine in the game. You can let me know if we did, but we did see the artist's table and also see the artist's chair within the game. And it also looks like it was from the original Bendy and the Ink Machine, but I don't tell you about the coffee machine. You can let us know, but this could be stuff from the real world and also mixed in with different stuff that we saw within, you know, later on in the game in the whole ink world. And this is another interesting photo of a full area that most likely got cut out to cuts or became something else. As you guys can see here, it's just a writing or animation station. As you can see, it's a whole bunch of different animation tables with the lights on where people are animating just back to back, 2 people on each table, around like what, 9 tables in just one area. It's like a whole bunch, around like 15 to almost 20 different, you know, animation tables with almost ink pipes flowing around the place, bookshelves all inked and all worn away where they're sitting there. This could be what Animation Alley is, and also showing the whole different animation studio, which I'll put on the screen where we first meet Ink Bendy and Bendy Dark Revival. It could be that area now, or this is just another canceled area they didn't really show. For some reason, it looks really amazing. I don't know why we didn't see it. And this is actually the last piece of concept art we got. It says here Joey's Loft, the official rest area, or I think that's what I meant. And you can see here, it looks like a prison, and it literally looks like one, but this is actually the sleeping areas where we actually saw within the rest area, the artist's rest. I'll show some screen of gameplay now. When they go into this little cubby, like, you know, those China hotels. I mean, not China, Japan. Cool futuristic Japan hotels. Like, it's really cheap to stay there, and all you get is literally a bed that's in a little lockup. That's what they kind of did within the Bendy the Dark Revival, but within this concept art, it kind of looks like a jail cell that has locks and all bars. No one can make it in, or no one can get out. They need to protect you, and this is obviously made for the animator, so they'll be able to sleep overnight, just so they'll be able to go back to work as soon as possible. Also, the door has a cool little bendy, you know, head, and also even the chairs have it too, showing that this place has lots of detail, but it's also withered away and almost the ink all over the place. And it is pretty cool to see this, but at the end of the day, the newest artist rest we got now is a lot more detailed, a lot more bigger, so you know, you can definitely see why this got cut in the final version. Anywho guys, is all the new concept art we got. Who knows, maybe later on we're going to be seeing a lot more Bendy and the Ink Machine or Bendy Dark Revival concept art. Who knows, but let me know in the comments below what you guys think about this video. Don't forget to check out my last video talking about more official concept art and also the whole entire, I don't know, what's it called again? Archive section for Bendy Dark Revival, because this, you know, this is an amazing game. We all love it here, and you know, Bendy and Ink Machine, we all love it in this channel, so you can subscribe and watch other videos if you're interested. And I'll see you guys all in the next video. Good.